Tamara is joining me today from Fidelity National Title, and I'm so happy because I've known Tamara for quite some time, and she has been in the business for almost 30 years, but doesn't look like she's been in the business for almost 30 years. But she is amazing, and I'm so happy to have her share a couple of tidbits with you guys today. So welcome, Tamara.
Thank you so much, Angela.
And can you tell us a little bit about what makes Fidelity National unique from other title companies and your value that you provide to your clients?
Absolutely. So one of the things that makes Fidelity stand out from the others is, one, we are the underwriter to a lot of different title companies. So we underwrite many different title companies. That's number one. There's only 3 or 4 title companies out of all 25 that are the underwriters to all 25 people, right? So that's one of them. We are the largest title company in the nation. We're number one 24 years in LA to date.
Wow.
So, yeah, we pride ourselves on having the right, the best coverage, number one, which is the Alta homeowners or the CLTA homeowners coverage. We also pride ourselves in having title officers that have to have 20 years plus experience. So we don't take people that, have 5 years experience. I mean, because I'm only as good as the people that I'm getting my information from, right? So my advisors, my title officers, I have to have the best people working. So we pride ourselves on that. We are one title company that makes sure that we have the best people behind the scenes. Also, what makes us stand out really is our financial strength as well. We're over a $15 billion company. We've worked up to that. It protects you in shifting markets, right? Like 2008 and 2000 now. So we have certain thresholds that they won't go under to protect, that we always have financial backing, because you have to have financial backing when there's claims which come in, right? Could be a fraudulent claim. I mean, a lot of things come up. So you want to make sure that who you work with matters and that you are working with a financially stable company.
Absolutely, 100%, which is why you're one of my trusted vendors, because you guys always come through. So my second question is, and maybe it's a combination of a couple of questions, but why is it so important to update title? Like, I think a lot of buyers that I work with are not really quite sure, how title plays a role or what is its role. And what are some common issues that come up with title and how can we resolve them?
That is a great question, Angela. So, okay, so that's like a 2-part question. So what happens is that some of the things that come up that are that we see happening more, right, are kind of white collar crimes, where checking your title. Okay, so I'm a homeowner, right? Checking my title at least a couple of times a year at the least. Is very important, because a lot of people, unfortunately, we've seen more in the last 4 years of people putting fraudulent deeds on other people's properties.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big one. So you might see on TV, you'll see something called title lock for $14.95. So checking your home is as important as checking your credit, realistically. They don't necessarily have to do that. Of course, they can call you, you will call us, and or a title company, and you can just date down their property to make sure that there's no fraudulent deeds recorded against it. One way to protect that, if you really wanted to, is you could, let's just say your house is paid off, which a lot of people have. You could make a loan to yourself. Let's say you make a loan for $10,000. You're just putting it on. It's just to yourself. You don't have to put any money into it. You're just recording a deed. That way, no matter what happens, if somebody puts a fraudulent deed on your property at any time, they still have to go through you, because they have to get that $10,000 deed that you put on cleared.
That is interesting. Okay. I've never heard
That's a very, very, very big tip, just to tell you now. So, a lot of people don't want to have to pay the money to have their property checked like they do their credit right now. Like I pay, I think $12 a month to have my credit checked every single month. I don't have to do the title lock, because fortunately for me, I can just, call my title company and date down my property. But it's just something to be aware of. Title insurance covers, just so people know, what it does is it protects the buyer and the seller. So let's hypothetically say that you're selling your property, right, to the buyer. Well, when the buyer gets it, a title company has to make sure it's free and clear of all liens, encumbrances. A lot of things can come up in that, right? So we do a preliminary title report up front that we give to you, Angela, and then you look that over as well as we do. And then we advise on the fact, look, there's one loan for, we call it a lien. So a loan on a house is actually a lien to title. So it's a debt. So we say there's one loan for, 450,000. Sometimes there's, the taxes, right, are due, or are they're paid or they're not paid. That's another one. All of those things will be paid off in escrow. So they never have to worry about anything, because an escrow will not close with any title company and should not close with any title company with any encumbrances on it. So the buyer is getting the property free and clear.
So the biggest things you're saying is fraud and encumbrances that might come up. Like I've seen them, like unpaid taxes and other liens. So those are the biggest ones.
I mean, one of the big things to think of is that when people are going into a sale, the two things that title companies cannot get around no matter what is child support and federal or state taxes. Those have to be paid no matter what.
Okay, that is good to know also.
Yeah.
Like I said, when people go into purchase, they don't necessarily know all this or have never spoken to a title rep prior to getting into an escrow. So that's amazing. But I know you are a great resource because you've been in the business for so long. So there's a ton of knowledge. But I agree, title insurance is super important and required. So is there any last things you would add that consumers need to know about title and protecting it?
Well, probably just who you work with matters. It's very important, and anything matters, right? And right now we're in a shifting market, but whether you're in a shifting market or not in a shifting market, you want to make sure that you're providing the best policy when you're a seller giving to the buyer, which we provide, which is the Alta homeowners. And you also want to make sure when you're the buyer that you're getting the best policy. If something comes up, right? Things come up, right? Things come up. People use title insurance for all kinds of things. I just had somebody, this is a really good analogy. I just had a person that purchased a property and they used us, and the buyer went in to put in a pool. And the inspector from LA County said, I can't give you the permit until you take down the carport, because the carport is illegal. And we were telling the sellers about it prior. The people, called their agent. The agent called me. What do you do? And of course, again, who matters. So I said, turn it into a claim. That's a claim. So they did, and they got $25,000 less a $5,000 deductible, and they are thrilled.
That is amazing.
They didn't love the carport as it was. So some good one thing to, like you were saying, to protect is who you work with matters, because you want to know all of the things that that title insurance covers.
Right. And that could affect the title and the property, down the line too. So
absolutely. Of course. That's why, I know I keep saying it, but that's another reason why who you work with matters, because of course of that. Yes. And you want to make sure that people have financial resources to be able to pay those claims, right? We pay ours on time and front. And so for me, I kind of look at it. Somebody just dubbed me on something where they did an interview with me, calling me the James Bond of title.
I want that. That's an amazing title.
I know. I was really excited. I'm like, wow. Thank you.
That's awesome.
And I so appreciate that you did this. I hope that it helps people. And if anyone has a question, of course, you can let me know, or we'll do a follow-up. But you're one of the best people in the business, and just even that you're doing this for homeowners is great. I'm a homeowner myself, so I'm coming not from a real estate standpoint, I'm coming from a homeowner standpoint.
Right. No, I appreciate that. And I'm going to put your contact information at the end. So everybody feel free to reach out to Tamara. Her email and phone number will be at the end of this video. And she's also on my website, angelasola.com, under I Trust Them as a Trusted Professional. So thank you so much again, Tamara. And I see you're in your car, so you're on your way to your broker's caravan. So I won't keep you, but thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
You are so welcome. You're the best.